Namaste, guys. Hello. I hope you are doing well. Hope you are taking care of yourself. I hope you all are loving on yourself. Okay. I'm trying to figure out like which way I wanted to go with this tonight's message. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do a reading or if I wanted to give you all some information about, decoding the passion of the Christ energy. Okay. And so I think I'm gonna go with that. Spirit, let me do my little how to allow spirit to lead me. Okay. Living tabernacle. Do I want to do this creed or divine unity? I'm gonna do this creed. Okay. And it says, I speak from the spirit within me, which is one with the Most High. My words are not from ego, but from the source of all creation. No watcher, no accuser, no muzzler has authority over my voice, heart, or my truth. I am rooted in love, covered in light, and sealed in the presence of the God within. When I speak, it is for awakening, not for offense. And may my words land only where they are meant to land. May my words only land where they are meant to land. I am safe, I am guided, and I am whole. So there's the creed I'm gonna do. And so today, tonight, happy Friday. Let's talk about the decoding the passion of the Christ energy, right? And I'm gonna show you, explain to you all what that looks like. And so what that looked like for me is going through it. You know, I am a healer. And if you resonate with this channel, you probably are one too, okay? And so when energy dawns upon me, a lot of times I can forget that I am the one that is witnessing the healing. I am the one that is aware. I can forget to look at my healing from a perspective of the Most High within, the divine within that is healing me, right? And so when the universal consciousness, right, the Father, so we gonna say, right, the Father, because you know I and my Father are one, you and the Father are one, right? Okay. And so when it gives me an assignment, right, and so I can oftentimes forget that I am the one that's handling the assignment. I am the one that is clearing the energetic cord from the realm, from my lineage. I can forget that I am the one that is working with the universal Father, okay, within me, right, and outside of me. Now I'm speaking to you 333 on my timer from a space of sovereignty. I'm speaking you from a space of my higher self, right? I'm speaking to you from a space of the divine consciousness within me. I'm speaking to you from that space, right? And so I can forget because I don't often embody that part of me all day, every day. I don't often embody that. And so a lot of times when these assignments come to me, I forget that they are assignments, right? I can attend to take it personally, right? I can respond to them from the energetic space of the assignment, right? I will become the assignment instead of becoming the answer for the assignment. You see what I'm saying? And so I do that unconsciously, right? That is a unconscious behavior where we were programmed from, right? And so, oh my, it's a spirit here already. Thank you for being here. And so because I am standing in my authentic space. So yeah, I have spirit that protecting me right now. Thank you. And so we do that unconsciously, but that's only because we have this subconscious program within us that mimics the passion of the Christ energy, right? And so that's the archetype energy of the passion of the Christ. And so if you all remember the Christ, when he was in trial, he was brutally beat. He had nails put into him. He had a spoke crown put onto him, right? And oftentimes that's what the energy can feel like if you start to embody them from the energy of whatever assignment you are assigned to, right? And so it'll feel like your head, like, what is all this that's coming? Because that's the way it is for me. I am a telepathic, and so the energy it'll download in my head, and my thoughts will just go out of control, completely insane. And then it'll reach my heart space, to where I start feeling the energy. It starts to overwhelm me. I start to identify with it, because somewhere in me still remembers the pattern, the energetic signature of it, right? And so the divine, consider that as your teacher. Often it will give you assignments that's most resonate with you. So not only are you clearing the assignment, you are clearing it from within you, or from within your background, ancestral pattern, collective wise, as far as like your community wise, as far as your race wise, things like that. Like, it will resonate with that. And once you clear that particular space, you're often like, you clear it from yourself also. That is the gift, okay? That is the gift, because when you do this, not only do you lighten your energetic signature, you help ancestors their level of consciousness from where they passed along at, you help them also, right? And so, and you also help raise the vibrational frequency, right, of the planet. You do that also. You help tear down invisible strongholds that, you know, your generations that's coming up after you, they won't be bound to that, right? And so that is the gift of it, right? And so this is like the decoding the passion of the Christ energy. This is something that I came upon today, because I was wondering, after I cleared that energy, why it felt so personal. Why did I take it as spiritual warfare? Because that's what it was, honestly, right? Because I got the 2 Corinthians chapter 10, spiritual warfare, right? That's exactly what it was, right? But why did I take it into me? Why did I take it so personal? What part of my human took it that way? What part of me? And so I had to see the energetic signature of it, right? And so I understood. It's just like something within me, I don't know, the version of me that doesn't believe that it is divine, okay? The version of me that still believes it is operating in this physical realm. That version of me, I had to, this is where you help integrate that part of you, right? That's the only thing that, I'm checking in with my guides to see what other, like, yeah, that version of you that doesn't believe in its assignment, that version of you that doesn't believe in the spiritual realm, that version of you that do not believe, that still believes God Jesus gonna take care of it. So like that version, you know, and it's still holding on to the hurt. It's still holding on to the pain. It's still holding on to the taking it personal. Someone did this to me, somebody. But this is the thing, no one did anything to you, okay? I keep telling you guys that if that's something that can help you. I got this download, but I've always speak this on my readings. I say everyone showed up in your life perfectly. They did exactly what they were programmed to do. Thank them gracefully, bow out of the movie. Now it's time to create your own movie, okay? That's that divine matrix, being in the divine matrix, knowing your assignment, right? Excuse me, knowing what you are here to do. showing up, doing it. Sorry, and understanding it all, right? Accepting it and walking boldly in your authority. Thank you, Spirit. So these are some steps. Again, if you want this PDF, please, I can't even talk. Please reach out to me, okay, so I can give you this PDF. I don't know how to put them in the YouTube video or the scripture thing, how they be adding stuff. I'm almost 50. I got to keep telling people that people think I should know that type of stuff. I don't. I know some tech savvy people. I'm pretty tech savvy, but with this social media stuff, and no. But anyway, this PDF, okay, this is a teaching that is called Decoding the Passion of the Christ Energy, right? And then it says, understanding the program. The Passion of the Christ Energy is a collective program that equates transformation and worthiness with suffering. You see, it teaches my transformation isn't valid unless I suffer for it. And that's where we all, you know, how they say, oh, you got to go through it, you know, really hard in order to be able to come out on the other side of it. Like, that is a program construct. That is what people always told you, right? And that is the way you've been doing it. So now it's time for you to break yourself out of that barrier, right? And it says the only way to be worthy of the reward is to bleed for it, just like the Christ did, right? You know, they often, 1144 on my timer, quote those biblical scriptures out of fear to keep you suppressed, to make excuses for why things feel so hard, right? To make excuses for why trials and tribulations, what they call them, seem so hard, but they're not hard. It's just about a change of perception, a change of outlook on it. Like I said, if you come at it from a higher space of embodying your soul signature, being in the space of your higher self, become your higher self to whatever assignment the Most High has placed in front of you, right? And that is how you are able to ground yourself, right? And it's important for healers to ground themselves. I didn't know the importance of that until just recently. Like, I ground myself every now and then, like throughout the day. I ground myself maybe like 2 or 3 times a day. But man, shit, you need the ground. If you're a healer, you have to stay grounded, because oftentimes you wind up picking up other assignments because you're up in the ethers. Like, you're open. You're like an open channel. You are a receiver, right? And if you're not grounded, you'll wind up picking up healing things that has nothing to do with you. I used to do that all the time before I started becoming aware of what feels like mine and what isn't mine. It'll oftentimes feel like something I hadn't already cleared, and I would just be like, what is this? Like, this isn't making sense to me. And I would just be like, no. And I'll go ground myself or go into like a 5 or 10 minute meditation, and then energy will clear for me, right? And it says, this archetype is deeply woven into spiritual and cultural narratives, keeping seekers locked in a cycle of pain as initiation, right? In this shadow form, it convinces you that deep growth can only be earned through deep punishment. That is not true, okay? That is not true. That is a loop that we are breaking right now, today, okay? And it says why it hooks in. This program ties into personal, ancestral, and collective wounds, as I just stated. Personal, right? Early life experiences, right? Where pain preceded relief or reward. So oftentimes, you know, if we would get a whooping or get punished or something right afterwards, you know, your parents will often, you know, reward us with something, right? And I was laughing at this lady. She's a YouTube creator. She is hilarious to me. And she would say, she had this one episode 1444 on my timer where she's asked her son, She said how parents react after they punish their children. And then she said she opened up the room though, looking around his room, be like, pick that paper up. What I tell you about having them dishes over there? And then she'll say, put some clothes on, we finna go to Popeyes. And then he'll be like, huh? And then she said, you heard me, put some clothes on, we're gonna go to Popeyes. And then she'll tell him, you know them shoes you was talking to me about last week? Put them up on the internet so I can buy them for you right now, right? And you see how like that reward energy after you just got a punishment or you got a spanking or something or you got yelled at, you know, that's because that person is starting to feel a sense of regret for what they did to you. And so now they would try to soothe it out with a reward. And so that was the pattern, right? Remember when I said earlier about my other creed, the living tabernacle creed, when I say I am the the alchemist of my lineage, transforming what was once used, dressed up, okay, as power, wisdom, and love to bind you into a space, right? That's that energy right there, right? And it says ancestral wise, right? Generations enduring oppression, where survival often required enduring suffering first. You know, we've seen a lot of them damn movies and stuff. They make sure they show us those at least first grade. I know I started watching them in kindergarten. I don't know how I graduated, you know, a long time ago, but Roots was out. Trust me, they would have that damn program on, especially around Black History Month. They wanted to make sure that you knew that where you came from, right? I don't know, but and then oftentimes, like after they, you know, a long day of working in the fields, getting their ass beat and all kind of stuff, they will just have to make do with what they can make do with. They'll have their own little celebration, sing their own little song, right? And so they were compromising, trying to see the best out of a bad situation, right? And so that's been like passed on for generation to generation. Oftentimes it can look like you enduring a job that is fucking horrible. The people treat you terrible. You hanging around friends that treat you like crap, right? You can even be with a partner and they treat you like crap, and then they only make you feel, sometimes, I don't know how to say this, Spirit don't have me say that. They will only make you feel like good or something, you know, doing sexual activities or something. But other than that, it's just like this person could treat you like crap, and you endure it, right? Because you're used to that. You're subconsciously used to it, right? And so we have, like I was saying, generational enduring oppression, where survival often require enduring suffering first. And then we have collective energy, okay, religious and cultural conditionings that glorify sacrifice and martyrdom as the highest virtue, right? You often see like a lot of religious people to where they're like beating themselves in the back. You see these even in different, cultures where they're like walking on glass. 1818 on my timer. I don't know why Spirit is bringing that to my awareness, because to where they're walking on glass and stuff like that, and you know, doing all these things, body contortions where they're slicing and cutting themselves just for the religious aspect of it or their ancestral lineage. That's their own thing. I don't know why Spirit brought that up, but the universe, the Most High, doesn't require that of you. It's just something that they do. That is just their own human way. It's not required as a soul. You are who and what you are. You're not here to suffer, okay? But you are here to clear certain things. You know, you're here for a purpose. You're here on an assignment. And when you can look at your clearings, when you can look at healing things from an assignment perspective, right? When you can look at it as the Most High has called me to clear this particular assignment, then you're able to do that effortlessly and gracefully, right? And so that is something that I was aware of this morning. For these past 2 days, it's been 2 days I've been in the thick of it. I usually be in these energy clearings like 2 or 3 days. It doesn't last longer than that. And so I often see like, damn, like sometimes I can go through it really fast and clear it, get the download, come on here and teach it, or put it in a a whole curriculum. I can do it that way. But yesterday it felt so much. That's because I was clearing so much. It wasn't only just mind, it was ancestral, it was collective, it was universal energy that I was clearing. And so that's why it felt so heavy. It felt like I wasn't separate from it. And then I was going through it also. I was let me finish. But it only took 2 days, and I'm glad I came out of it. But man, them battle scars, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, we don't have to have them, right? We can look at, you know, our assignment from a higher perspective, right? But you know, it energetically, spiritually, it puts you in a state of what they call spiritual, where you're overloaded. It tears down your energetic system to where you are feeling just overwhelmed, and you just like, oh my God, like, why is it so hard? Why is it so much? So it can put you in that state, right? And so I want you all, Spirit wants you all to look at your healing, like when you first feel the energy coming onto you, because you definitely can feel it, okay? Look at it as an assignment, okay? And then we have, because of these layers, the passion program feels noble, but it often delays or distorts access to joy, ease, and support. And remember I said, like, those battle wounds, right? Like I said, it puts you in a state of spiritual distortion. Okay, Spirit is saying spiritual overwhelm. Okay, it sets your immune system in there, okay, to where you just want to crash and just, I can't do this no more. You just want to give up and go to the bar and have you a drink and then go have a one-night stand or do something like that. I'm not judging, I'm just saying. It's nothing that I ever done, trust me. I've never been a one-night stand type of person. I just could never see myself doing that. I'm trying to remember. I didn't. No. I did with a girl, but I had took her home to my husband to see, because he said he wanted to. But then when we got there, he was just like, what the fuck? He freaked out. And I was like, jeez. But you said you wanted it, right? It's so funny. But that was years ago. Okay, anyway, back to this. Flipping the equation, right? And it says the core liberation key is shifting from pain to growth, to presence, to growth, right? This means holding space for transformation without requiring personal crucifixion. And it says wisdom and depth do not require harm or depletion. You can receive the fullness of insight while remaining whole, safe, and nourished, right? And it says, this is step 3, and it says decoding stance and practice. And this, like I said, helps me when in the midst of intense energy. Use this stance to stay close enough to understand the pattern, but far enough to avoid being consumed by it. And that's what I had to remember today, because like I said, oftentimes I can remember, right? But not just some other times when they feel so heavy, when it feels so like, oh my goodness, like, where the fuck did this come from? It's just like, jeez. And so it's this another thing, okay? Anchor, okay? Place your feet on the floor, feel the weight of your body, and say, I am both the participant and the observer, right? And it said, witness it, right? Become a witness. Allow the energy to explain to you what it's trying to reveal to you. Like, don't fight it. Like, don't push against it. Don't have no resistance to it. Just allow the energy to speak. The more you allow the energy to speak to you, the more it can tell you, it can give you clues. You will see signs and synchronicities. Your ancestors, your angels, yes, they are here to help you, and they will help you, okay? You just have to ask them, okay? And it says, visualize the scene that is playing out on a screen or stage. And that's something that I always do. But like I said, this past assignment was a little bit, whew, it was heavy. I ain't gonna even lie. It was heavy. Okay, visualize it playing out on the screen or stage. You are present in it, but also seeing the angles, okay, the patterns, the movement from above, right? And then track and translate. And that's, track and translate is just the most beautifulest thing you would ever do, to track and translate. Like, you can see the patterns in your life. They'll start revealing right in front of you. People will start coming to you to reveal the pattern to you. Even though I have very limited interactions with people, but I oftentimes, when I go for a walk, I will see certain things happening around me, and I would just be like, oh my goodness, that's a sign. Like, and it'd be a sign, and then it'll bring up a memory about whatever I'm healing. So it's just like that. And then I'll get downloads, and I get dreams, right? Someone will call me, right, that has that type of energy within them. So I'm like, okay, I get it, I see what this is, right? And so things like that, okay. And it says, ask the sensation or emotional state to arise. Ask it to allow you to feel it. Okay, get to know your assignment. Goddamn it, Nancy Drew that bitch. Perry Mason that whole like. Just Perry Mason that Nancy Drew. You know those detectives. You go into to detective mode, right? You can even go in parent mode. Like, think of that assignment as your baby and ask it what's the matter, like, how can I help you? Like, do like that with your assignment, okay? It says, right, okay, as sensations or emotions arise, ask, what is this showing me about the pattern, origin, and purpose? Okay, write or speak your observation as they are happening, so the wisdom is captured without the pain taking over. By holding this stance, you break the link between suffering and learning, proving to your system that depth can come through clarity and presence alone. That is how you decode that passion of the Christ energy, the suffering energy, right? And so, yeah, I hope this helped you all, okay? I hope you can gain some knowledge from this. As I stated before, if you would like this PDF, please reach out to me. My email is in the profile thing. I'm not gonna say description. I'll probably add it in the description, okay? I'm doing some laundry, so you may hear that. Raven is playing with the laundry basket, okay? And so my email address is phoenix144cardinal@gmail.com, okay? I love you all. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you later. Bye.